A girlfriend walking in. What the
hell, dude? I know, dude. Like I jacked off with Vicks vape, like the Vicks vapor rub when I was like 13. Like the first time I ever jerked, I'm gonna go, this fucking ruined my dick forever. So
God was right. This is terrible.
No, yeah, I got it. It's like, I just couldn't get it off fast enough.
I think everybody has a friend that wants
meant
to
to lay them.
Somebody put them up to like putting cologne on their dick, you know, like, oh, you've been out of date, huh? Put some cologne on your dick.
Put some icy hot down there.
We had a dude in high school. He was talking shit. We're on a baseball bus. He was a freshman trying to prove himself. And he kept going, I'll do anything for money. So we bet him $5 he couldn't stroke it 50 times with icy hot. And it's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, he was like, and then no one paid him. No one paid him.
Tell me he got to 47 and no one was like, no.
Nope, no one paid him. We said for $2 more, he put on his balls, he did that. I mean, he was like crying. We got back to the gym, he came out of the bathroom, I was like, you alright? And he's like, all the hair on my balls fell off. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it just fell off. I was like, well, that's shit's tough to shave, there's a silver lining in it.
That's right.
Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong in collaboration with Wolfwise Media. Featuring Jacob Christopher and in-studio guest Billy Wayne Davis.
Your next comic is one of the rarest things in the world in Portland, Oregon. An incredibly funny, straight white man. I know it's rare. Prepare yourself, hold your seat for a funny, straight white guy, Jacob Christopher. Here it is,
I'm funny and I'm straight and I'm white. I'm also, you know what, let's just get it out of the way. I'm not religious, Mormon, vegan, or gay. Those are the three things people assume about me. Y'all fucking laughing a lot over there. All right, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I've never even read the Bible once, all right? Had an opportunity over at Motel 6 a couple weeks ago. I'm doing some road work, making it, living that dream. After I started walking, there's a Bible sitting on the end table, and I'm like, you know, if I can hide, let me read this thing, see what it's got. Anyway, I opened that Bible up, almost every page had a huge dick drawn right in the middle of it. When I was done with it. Thank you, Ivan Jacob. All right. I don't have any tattoos. But I'm still going to talk about them. See, I have experience. When I was a kid, I got my first experience with tattoos when I was 7. I grew up on a farm in Virginia. Thug life. But, anyway, when I was 7, one of my best friends had an older brother named Zach. And Zach was like 17, 18 years old. And he was cool because he was covered in tattoos and he drove a Mustang and he smoked cigarettes. But it was the tattoos that drew me in. This guy was covered. His neck, chest, stomach, and arms were sleeved out with all these cool, like abstract geometrical shapes and patterns covering his body. I ate that shit up. So one morning on the bus riding to school, I took out a magic marker and started coloring in my own arms to make them look like Zach's to kill time. But it's a 45-minute bus ride. So by the time we pulled into primary school, both my arms were completely sleeved out, like I had wrapped all the way around. I was proud. All right, I got off that bus, pulled up to ride, the coolest kid in 2nd grade with my arms all sleeved out, walking around like I'm shit, like Vincent McMahon, just making his way to the ring. WrestleMania, that's a good reference. Ultimate Warrior died, sorry. Anyway, he lives forever in us all, goddammit, all right? So anyway, I'm walking through primary school with my arms all sleeved out, I'm the shit. My principal's not a fan. All right, he saw me, he grabbed me by the neck, started screaming. Jacob, what have you done to your arms? This is unacceptable. We need to call your parents, blah, blah, blah. Point is, that's how I learned what a swastika is. Yeah, apparently Zach was a really cool white supremacist. All those random abstract geometric shapes that had meanings. All right, I walked into 2nd grade with like 60 fucking swastikas drawn up and down my arms, people. I was like, yeah, I'm proud of this shit. I'm legit, right? Now I'm here. All right, I had all of ICP's albums, Carnival of Carnage, Great Malenko, Riddlebox, Ringmaster. I didn't have to go on Google to talk about Insane Clown Posse, all right? This is knowledge that I possess. I'm not proud of it. All right, I've made some mistakes in my life, clearly. Not every decision I made was great. Here's another one. I used to smoke crack. Hold your applause, everybody, please. It's true, though. When I was like 18 to 19 years old, I had a really bad crack habit. I mean, I was smoking daily, started stealing and lying to people, and it got so bad. Like, I started selling it, and I sold a lot of crack. I mean, a lot of money. I could put out a rap album and have more credibility than little fucking anybody, but no one would buy it because of the way I look. And that's bullshit. I'm hard. You guys have no idea. I was so fucked out. I'm the hardest motherfucker in here. For real. Yeah, I give off this look, you know, could follow anyone here down the darkest alleys of Gotham at midnight, put a hoodie on. Y'all just gonna look back and be like, oh no, it's just some Mormon vegan gay guy. Don't worry about it. Fine. He's fine. I moved here from Virginia. I put all my shit in my car and drove out here. Fuck it. I didn't have a job or a place to stay. Eventually found somewhere on Craigslist. I went grocery shopping for the first time at Whole Foods. Fucking $600 later, I didn't realize how expensive that was going to be. Anyway, the cashier was checking me out, and she looked at me and she said, and I quote, "You look pretty good for a ginger." Right? It's kind of a backhanded racist thing to say. The term, just the word itself, I don't care. Ginger. I'm used to all the classic nicknames: Ginger, Carrot Top, Faggot, right? I mean, we're all the classics. It's fine. It's just the way she used it. You look good for a ginger. I mean, I can't even deny it. Let's be honest, she's right. All right, I see other redheads and I cringe, just like the rest of you guys. Right? But even if I wanted to play the race card, I couldn't because I'm white. But that's bullshit because I'm not regular, boring white like the rest of you background crackers. I'm special. All right, I am pure white, as my grandparents would say. All right, we had ginger meetings. You've seen them in Portland. Ginger bike rides. You guys don't do that shit. See another redhead walking down the street, we nod at each other, a little one of those. Alright, that's real, that's fucking real. There's no handshake, I'm not gonna bullshit y'all. But you guys do that? All the rest of you white people nod at every other white person in Portland. It's like, oh my god, no, fucking break your neck. Obviously, that's ginger. Shit. So I didn't know how to react. How am I supposed to react to this girl? You look good for a ginger. Can I be like, yeah, you look good for a black girl? Can I say that to her? Is she going to get all racist and no bad like you guys are right now? No. She fucking laughed, and then I asked her out, and we dated for like 2 years, because she's right. I do look pretty good for a ginger. I told y'all I wasn't gay earlier, and I meant it, but I'm still going to tell y'all I like to dance. All right? I'm good at it. I'm a good dancer. I'm not even fucking lying right now. I'll tear that shit up. I go to this club called Embers sometimes. Y'all ever heard of that? It's a gay club downtown. And, you know, you don't have to be gay to go to a gay bar. You don't have to be gay to appreciate good music. All right? They fucking bump it in there. Huey listen to the news every fucking time. Anyway, I was in there and I was killing it on the dance floor as I, you know, I'm killing it. And I'm there with girls too. I go there on dates. I'll never go there alone. I don't know if that's kind of homophobic, but anyway, look. So I'm at this club on the dance floor, and I'm getting stared down by this dude in the corner. He's just eye-fucking me for like an hour and a half. And this guy's like old, like 60-plus years old, bald. All right, frankly, it's kind of insulting. I'm so far out of his league. He needs to forget this ever. Anyway, but after like an hour, I had to piss, so I go in the bathroom at Embers. And at Embers, they don't have urinals and privacy. They just have a big stainless steel trough sitting on the floor. Like, that's real shit. There's no barriers. It's just fucking free-for-all. But I'm in their world. Fuck it. So I go up there and I start peeing, and he follows me in. And he stands right beside me. And I'm standing there, like, focusing on just the wall, you know. But I hear only my piss. All right? It's like, he's not peeing. What is going on? I'm fighting the urge to look over. And eventually I have to look over. This motherfucker's just standing there with his dick in his hand looking at me piss. Like, that's all he's doing. He's licking his lips and being creepy, which is a choice, by the way. Nobody's born like that. This guy is fucking weird as shit. All right? Ruining my fucking night. I'm trying to dance! I had to stop and go into a bathroom like a fucking toilet to get some privacy, which burns mid-piss, mind you. And I walked in there, and I thought I'd get privacy, but see, at Embers, it's a gay club, and all the stalls have holes in them about waist high for you to put your dick through. And he just took the liberty. As soon as I closed the door, this dude walked up and just put his dick right through the hole in my stall. And that's disturbing. More disturbing than that. It took me a solid 10 seconds to figure out what I was staring at. You understand? That shit doesn't age well, is what I'm trying to say, alright? Ladies, or guys, if you're into dicks, you want to hop on them now while they're young, because when you get older, that shit is gross, alright? It was like fucking translucent, right? Like it was made out of quartz. You can see all the piping and shit. I don't know. It was fucking foul, but it's also small, which I hate to, criticize, hate that, but it's like, dude, I don't know. If you're gonna make me look at a dick, I want to see a fucking cock swinging. Do you understand? With some girth to it, some weight. All right, don't give me that little bullshit. All right, get that shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be gay to appreciate a nice dick, people. All right, that's just life. God damn it, don't judge me. I went to ground control the other night to take a shit. That's how this one started. It's the arcade. Y'all know ground control. I was actually doing karaoke at Boiler. Someone threw up all over the toilet, and I had to go. So I walked to ground control, and there was a group of these homeless kids out front asking for money. And I like homeless people, like the elderly. Remember that dude who played trumpet out front of that bridge for like years, man? That guy was a shit. All right, yeah, give that guy I gave him so much money. But it's these young 20-something-year-old white kids who are anarchists. I don't sympathize with those motherfuckers at all. Fuck those guys. So when I walked by, the dude's like, hey man, can I have some money? And I was like, nah, man, sorry, I can't help you. And I kept walking, which is a very polite way to end that conversation, right? But he didn't want it to end there. He wanted to get the last word, so he spoke up. He was like, well, I see you got enough money to go play video games, but not enough to help out another human being. You're a real good role model, man. Way to be. And he said it loud, so all his little anarchist piece of shit friends got a chuckle out of it. And I'm just trying to take a shit. I don't need a life lesson from some hobo kid. All right, fuck that guy. So I turned around and I asked him something I've always wanted to ask one of these losers. I was like, dude, you're a white guy in your 20s living in Portland, Oregon, all right? The world is ours. We have it so fucking easy. We are the 1%, all right? So what is your reasoning? Why are you out here asking for money? What's your explanation? And I'll tell you his explanation. It was, just because I'm white doesn't mean life is easy, all right? My father walked out on me when I was 16. 16, guys, fucking 16. Do you understand? I'm not trying to undermine the importance of a strong father figure in the household, but at 16, you gotta buck up, champ. All right? I'm not trying to hear that fucking bullshit. All right? Right. Fucking weak. He had said 5 or 8. I might have sympathized a little bit, but at 16, he is not getting last word on 16. So I educated him. I let him know. I was like, dude, that's rough. When I was 9, my father shot and killed himself in front of me. Which sounds rough, but it's also not true, guys. Don't worry. But I'm not letting that fucker win, goddamn. I'm taking it up. All right, you go big or you get the fuck out of here when you talk to Dave Christopher. Right. I won. This dude literally took a step back and was like, fuck. You could see in his eyes, he was like, holy shit, I gotta get my life together. And he took his dog and walked the fuck out of my life. That's right. Thank y'all. I guarantee the next morning he woke up, shaved off his dreads, and went and found a job. You're welcome, Portland. I've been Jacob Christopher. Thanks very much.
Is that what you miss about the Southeast? That the people's, I guess, just little nuances?
Yeah, I think
it's rampant in the South. Like,
well,
just
the
people
South
being themselves.
is one of the few regions in our country that still has its own culture. I think a lot of the United States is blending together, which is not a bad thing. I don't say that's a bad thing necessarily, but the South still has its own culture that I still think is misunderstood to a certain degree. But that being said, I haven't lived in the South in, a long time. So I do like, I was in Raleigh last weekend, and my favorite places to be are southern college towns, because it's the perfect mix of progressive and liberal thinking.
Yeah, but still
with that,
tethered into
that slow pace and manners and a certain Gentile. Yeah, to me it's ideal. Like Raleigh, Athens, Chattanooga, those little towns. It's a certain learned if I'm saying that word right, you know what I mean? Like where this is the way it is. I figured life out. And a lot of people, it's like at 17 or 18, this is how life is, and they don't leave. And I think it makes life easier for those people because there's no questioning anything or anything. So I think that's where that comes from. And then lack of travel. There's a great Mark Twain quote about like, and I'm gonna butcher it, but it's basically travel destroys all bigotry and blah blah blah. And he's right. I've been fortunate enough to be around, and you realize like, oh, it's the same. Everyone's the same. There's just different ways of communicating the same emotions. And
It's there. As I understand, your grandfather's initials?
yes,
That's what we're getting?
speaking of the South,
Pretty southern. What was your grandfather's name?
Billy Ray Davis.
The thing I love about southern names too. My grandfather's name is Cletus Armstrong, no middle name. And my father's name is Cletus Roger Armstrong because my grandma had a crush on Roy Rogers. So that's how it pans out.
Well, my name is Billy, is named after him, and Wayne is my other grandpa.
Dig it.
So, yeah, there's something to that.
Is that hard in comedy, being single? Like
I mean, I have a girlfriend now, but after my divorce, I explored a lot, and it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It's a lonely existence.
It's weird when people are offering you, they're attracted to a version of you, like
Yes.
from the stage, and
Yes.
then it's like you're a complex person after that.
And they don't know how to, yeah, and then, like, the road is lonely to begin with, and I found it when I was, like, having, like, one-night stands or something like that. I found that was lonelier
Yeah.
for me than just being alone in a hotel by myself or just exploring a city by myself. Like, having those one-night stands, that feeling afterward was very lonely. Because if we're honest with ourselves, how many one-night stands are great? Maybe one or two your whole life.
If you're the right match of drunk, that's about it.
That, yeah. And if the chemistry's good, you end up dating.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's just, I'm also 33, so there's a point where I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to chase. So I realized that I needed some stability because you start removing any relatability at that point. I think that's why Chappelle left the show. When they announced you're getting $50 million,
And we're doing it for another 4 years too.
he's not relatable anymore. He can't just talk about stuff because his life is not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew I needed some stability. I watched this Dana Gould interview, and they're talking about why he, chose to go right instead of going on the road. He's like, because I didn't want to be an alcoholic. He's like, to really do the road, he's like, it's going to turn you into an alcoholic. And at that time, I was like a blackout drunk. And that woke me up a little bit. It was like, oh, yeah, that is...
I'm with you because I'm not even a drinker. I point blank had 2 shots of whiskey last night, 2 margaritas, and like 4 beers. Just doing 2 shows, hanging out, and just...
Yeah.
I don't drink pop, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I should be drunk. I don't even feel it.
Yeah, I quit drinking like over a year ago. It was
You look great, by the way. I mean, you faded up since I last saw you.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked for me. I'd already changed my diet, and I read a book about nutrition, which opened my eyes to stuff. And I made a joke to my dad, who's a football coach and teacher. He was my health teacher. I was like, why don't they teach us in school? And he was my health teacher in high school, and he's like, we did. I did teach you all this. You just didn't pay attention. I was like, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I started exercising. After I quit playing baseball in college, I just didn't do anything for like a decade. Just no athletic pursuit, no working out. And I lost like probably 15 pounds in a month. Just that. I was still boozing. I wanted to lose like 10 more, about 20, 25 pounds. But then I quit drinking. And within a month, I lost like 35. I wasn't even paying attention.
Really?
And I stepped on the scale and I was like 168. I just wanted to be down to 180.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. But it was when I quit boozing, all of it just fell off. And that's when I realized how much I was drinking and how bad it was. Every now and then I'll have a desire to drink. It's usually like days like this,
Yeah.
where it's like really nice.
Patio and a taco kind of thing.
Fucking,
Yeah.
some roof, smoking cigarettes, drinking beer. God damn it. But I also have to realize that if I do that, I'm not going to have 3 or 4 and go home. I'm going to be in a blackout by 8:30. Everyone's going to have a good time.
That's why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Like up until like 28, that's why I did pot instead of alcohol. It's like, man, Todd climbed that. And
Yes.
It's like, what? I did what? It's
Well,
like,
and you learn about
brings out
alcohol.
a 12-year-old in me.
Yeah, well, that's what alcohol does. It lowers your inhibitions, and mine are pretty low to begin with. Because I'll tell you, I'm pretty honest and open about shit, and then I'm willing to go talk. And you add booze on that, yeah, I talked to Marin about that, getting punched in college. Me and a guy, we were just hammered at a bar, and I was like, I'm gonna go say something funny to this girl, just awful. I said something awful. Didn't notice this giant dude standing there, and I said it, and she looked at him, and he smiled but didn't realize, and I was like, fuck, he's gonna punch me. And he just, and it knocked me back, and I started laughing. I was like, I deserve that, I'm so sorry. And then she said something like, hit him again, and the guy was like, no. And I mean, the guy go drink. But I did have to take that punch
I'm with him.
because I deserved it.
But that's bitching though, that when you went down, you're like, no, fucking, I
Yeah.
earned it. I cashed my own check.
Yes,
Thank you.
and as he's railing back, he's like, oh, this is, I get this, yeah.
Created and directed by Todd Armstrong, produced by Todd Armstrong and Dustin Erickson. Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong would not be possible without our supporters. Tattoo artists Joanne and Jerry Martian of Martian Arts Tattoo Studio on the corner of 33rd and Hawthorne in Portland, Oregon. Video recorded, edited, and animated by Wolfwise Media. Original pixel art by Anthony Justiniano. Audio recorded and mixed by Rowan Studios. Original music by Soda Vice Music. And I've been the Permanent Comedy announcer, Greg Nibbler. Thanks for watching this episode of Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong. Always enjoy the choices you make.
Thank you for joining us, Billy. I really appreciate it, my friend.
No, this is great.
Thank you. That's it?
Is that it?
That's it.
All said and done?
Just do the whole arm.
Keep this on a couple hours.
During is just white games in Portland.